Wilson, you'll raise your right hand, please.
Sorry, Judge.
Huh?
Your Honor, if I may interrupt, I have three witnesses. I have Mr. Walton and I have Ms. Wilson as well. If you want to swear them all in at the same time.
Who is Miss Wilson?
She is one of the witnesses regarding the holographic will.
Okay, but I mean, what is her relationship to the decedent?
The decedent was her grandmother.
Okay, that's problematic for me. And I take it Mr. Walton, Crit Walton, who's on the line, is the son.
Also a grandkid.
Also a grandchild, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's stretching it as far as disinterested witnesses are concerned.
Well, they're certainly not benefiting from this. Ms. Wilson wrote this holographic will, leaving everything to her son and daughter. Mr. Wilson is her son. Ms. Walton is her daughter. They both signed waivers and consents to Mr. Wilson acting as the administrator.
Okay, were there any other children to the marriage or did Mrs. Wilson, the decedent, have any other children besides the two listed in the will?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Is that correct, Mr. Wilson?
That's correct. Just my sister and I.
okay, well, I view a disinterested witness as someone who has no familial relationship with the decedent. And so keep that in mind for the future, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Wilson, Mr. Wilson, and Mr. Walton, if you'll raise your right hands, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause should be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes.
Yes. I do.
Did you say something, Mr. Walton? Crit Walton?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to hold up what purports to be the last will and testament holographic which purports to be within the handwriting of Peggy Wilson. Do y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor, if you could hold it up so they could see the signature as well. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right, go right ahead.
Okay, Ms. Wilson, would you please state your name for the court?
Emma Wilson.
And how did you know Mrs. Wilson?
She is my grandmother.
Okay, are you personally familiar with her handwriting?
Yes.
And are you familiar with her signature?
Yes.
The judge is kindly showing us the last will and testament, that what purports to be the last will and testament of Ms. Wilson. Have you seen a copy of that document before?
Yes.
And do you recognize this document? Do you recognize the handwriting and the signature as that of Peggy Wilson?
Yes.
And was the date on that is September 4, 2018. And was Ms. Wilson over the age of 18, and was she of sound mind at that time?
Yes.
And are you a beneficiary under the terms of the will?
No.
And have you been given anything to give your testimony today?
No.
Okay,
No,
we
I
lost
have no-
power. Looks like I'm gonna have to get MIS to provide us with a new tablet, so. Go
Oh,
right ahead.
dear. Okay, Your Honor, I have no further
Muted.
questions for Ms. Wilson. Do you have anything for her?
I could hear you, Lee.
Yes, I don't know that the court can.
All righty, go right ahead.
Okay, Your Honor, I finished questioning Ms. Wilson. I would like to call Mr. Walton. Mr. Walton, would you please state your name for the court?
Crit Walton,
And Mr. Walton, did you know Peggy Wilson?
I did.
And how did you know her?
She was my grandmother.
And are you personally familiar with her handwriting
Yes,
and her signature?
yes,
And the judge is holding up what purports to be the last will and testament of Peggy Wilson. Do you recognize that as her signature?
yes, I do.
And do you recognize that as her handwriting?
I do.
And you've seen a copy of this document before, correct?
I have.
Okay. And the will is dated September 4, 2018. Was Ms. Wilson over the age of 18 and was she of sound mind at that time?
Yes.
Are you a beneficiary under the will?
No.
And have you been offered anything to give your testimony today?
No.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have no further questions for Mr. Walton. May I question Mr. Wilson?
You may.
Mr. Wilson, please state your name for the court
Van Kent Wilson.
so that the judge doesn't have to hold the will up anymore. Let me ask you about the will. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And is this, do you recognize the handwriting on that document?
Yes, I do.
And that, who does that handwriting and signature belong to?
That's my mother's, Peggy Wilson handwriting.
And the date of that document is September 4, 2018. As far as you know, that document is still in existence, correct? It has not been revoked. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I think we're done with that document. Thank you very much. Did your mother die on August 11, 2022 in Beaumont, Jefferson County, Texas at the age of 78?
Yes, she did.
And was she domiciled and did she have a fixed place of residence in Jefferson County at the time of her death?
Yes, she did.
Was she divorced after signing and publishing that will?
Yes.
She was divorced after
Oh,
2018?
not after, before. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was she married at the time of her death?
No, she was not.
The only children of your mother is you and your sister, Sherry Page Walton. Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
And the will did not state, did not name an administrator or an executor of the estate. And you and your sister agreed that you should be the administrator. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you both signed a waiver and consent agreeing to your appointment. And that has been filed with the court. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Wilson, you've been provided with a document called a proof of death and other facts.
Yes,
Yes.
he has.
Okay, have you read that document?
Yes.
Everything contained in that document true and correct and within your personal knowledge?
Yes, sir. Your
All
Honor.
righty. So Ms. Meineke, if you will get the witnesses to sign their proofs before a notary public, get those returned to me along with Mr. Wilson's oath. You will
Okay.
e-file those with the county clerk. They'll send it up to me. I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate and authorizing the issuance of letters. And just let us know if there's any other way we can help, but I hope everything goes well. Mr. Wilson, make sure that you cooperate with Ms. Meineke in getting her a listing of the assets of your mother's estate, because under the Texas Stagecoach, she has 90 days to file an inventory from the day I sign the order, which will probably be in the next couple of days.
Okay.
Otherwise, I hope everything goes well. Y'all have a great week.
Likewise,
And Your
Your
Honor,
Honor.
thank you so much for letting us do this via Zoom.
You bet. Take care
I
now.
appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Gonna do those later ones in chambers.